What's up, guys? Welcome back to Among the Fence. I am your host, Aaron. Today we're going to be checking out the song Standing in the Storm by August Burns Red. August Burns Red, in case if you don't know, is a metalcore, kind of like a progressive metalcore band from Pennsylvania. They started about 2003. They currently have 9 studio albums. The last one, which is Guardians, came out in I think February of 2020, so almost a year ago. And Standing in the Storm, I believe, was intended for Guardians. And JB, the lead guitar player for the band, said that this song is about fighting for something that's important to you and enduring the hardships that come with it. Standing in the Storm starts out with a more drum-driven intro that's focused on bigger, fatter, fuller chords as opposed to really like fast, zippy technical riffs that August Burns Red is typically known for. And even the vocals from Jake Luers is pretty laid back as well, even though they're still distorted and screamed. They just have a more chill vibe to them. The chorus ushers in a faster drum beat, which flows directly into the second chorus, which is joined by a faster, more technical riff style that we're used to. Even the lead guitar amps it up a little bit more, not in terms of sound, but just in terms of technicality, and it's kind of hard to really hear what's going on. But in between the drums and the vocals and the chugs and all of that, there's little cracks in between each one where the lead guitar really shines through, and it sounds absolutely amazing. The end of the second verse gets a little bit heavier, but it has this really cool like palm muted arpeggio scale thing that is honestly, it's kind of playful, and it really is like very uplifting and lighthearted, and it just feels inspiring. And I feel like this song, they decided to get a little bit more experimental. A lot of their songs, everything's just full bore. The drums are super intense and all over the place, and the guitar riff is all over the place and constantly changing, and there's a crazy guitar solo in there with like this weird guitar tone to it, and the vocals are always just being screamed at you. And I feel like the band has voiced before, at least some of the musicians in the band have said that as they've gotten older, their musical preferences have changed a little bit more, and some of them are a little bit more into like punk music or a little bit more into just like chill instrumental things like Polyphia or something like that. And I feel like this song is a little bit more geared towards that. Like I said, it's just like an experimental thing where they just decided to write something that's not that common in the metalcore genre, or even just metal genre right now, at least for them anyways. The bridge has like these clean yells, I guess, over a drum beat, which is pretty unusual for August Burns Red. I mean, it's like clean singing, but not really. And it makes for a really good valley that doesn't really come up too high at the end. It just goes into like a more traditional sounding guitar solo and breakdown, which is also pretty unusual for August Burns Red. And this whole thing is pretty mild. Like, as it's even amped up more, it's still, like, it sounds great. It just isn't as heavy or aggressive or even just like that crazy tech. Like, everything in the song is pretty mild for what August Burns Red does in terms of technicality, heaviness, experimentally kind of things, but it all works out well. And like I said, I feel like it's just an experimental kind of thing, and I kind of see why it didn't really fit in with the rest of the songs on Guardians. The lyrics are probably the main selling point to this song for me. They paint an amazing picture, and imagery to me is one of the most important things to lyrics. Instead of people just handing the lyrics and the meaning to them over to you in the song, I like it when there's a little bit more deciphering that needs to happen, and there's a lot more metaphors. For instance, the lyrics like, I'm losing my mind, there's no rain, just lightning and thunder. Nobody wins when we've lost one another. Like, the communication of the emotion in that is just so much more to me than if it was just a straightforward lyric. Between lightning and thunder, the imagery there is just absolutely amazing. And the comparison to fighting, basically, I'm assuming that's what that's about, is the rain is sadness, lightning thunder is an argument or a dispute. And another thing that this song does a little bit different is it has a verse, a chorus, verse, chorus, bridge, chorus, which is pretty unusual for August Burns Red. Normally they do have a structure to their songs to some degree where they do have choruses, but normally they're pretty proggy where there isn't like a repeating anything. And even if it does repeat, like maybe a section of a lyric might repeat or just a section of a riff might repeat, but it isn't so prominent as it is in this song. Standing in the Storm is definitely a better single than if it was mixed in with Guardians. I feel like almost every song on Guardians has a lot more energy to it, a lot more just feel. I feel like this song would have been looked over quite easily mixed in with all those. I mean, I can't think of a single song that's quite as slow or just mellow as this song. I mean, you got songs like even the narrative, the first song, which gets overlooked a lot, and Defender, Three Fountains is a little bit slower. But honestly, this one wouldn't have been appreciated nearly as much if it was thrown in the mixture of those, unless if it was like a midpoint song where like their midpoint halfway point slow song to kind of break everything up. But even then, people would have just skipped over it because they want the next song that's going to be heavy and full of energy. And like I said, it just wouldn't have been as appreciated. It would have been overlooked. I think this is a fantastic single for them, but because of the lack of variety compared to all their other music, and I do like the experimentation of it, I feel like they could have done a little bit different things here and there. But I mean, in the same post that JB was talking about how, like, the description of what this song is about fighting for something that's important to you, he also said that they had a lot of fun with it as well. So I'm kind of looking forward still to see where they try and go with this new sound. I'm not sure if this is going to be pointing at like the sound that's going to be on an upcoming album, which is kind of weird to say because it feels like they just came out with Guardians maybe like 3 or 4 months ago, but it's been almost a year. Thank you, COVID, for basically keeping everybody stuck in like May, it seems like. So with all that said, I got to give Standing in the Storm by August Burns Red a 3.7 out of 5. I have a feeling that the metal community and just August Burns Red fans in general are going to be pretty split on this song. There's a lot of people that love August Burns Red for the breakdowns, and they're so laser focused on them to where if a song doesn't have a heavy bone splitting breakdown that just tears your face off and throws it on the ground, they typically don't like the song, no matter how great the songwriting is, vocals, whatever. And there's no problem with that because breakdowns are life, to be completely honest. But at the same time, there's other people that are like, I like the experimentation that they did. I like how it's more chill. You don't have to get up and run around the room in order to listen to the song. You can just sit there and listen to it and enjoy it for what it is. And I kind of see both perspectives. I actually really like this song. I love the direction it went with it, and I love that it was a single because, I mean, maybe people wouldn't have overlooked it if it was mixed in the thing, but I know I would have overlooked it if it was in Guardians. I would have probably wouldn't even have noticed it. I probably would only listen to it maybe 2 or 3 times, and then after that, I would just skip over it every single time. So I'm very glad that they didn't put it in there to give me the chance to hear it and enjoy it for what it is. But I want to know what you guys think. If you haven't heard Standing in the Storm, I'm going to leave a link for it down in the description below. It's actually kind of long for that. Well, it's like a 4-minute long song. Go ahead and give it a listen. Let me know what you would think and what you would rate it. If you guys enjoyed this review, don't forget to give it a like. Please feel free to subscribe and click the bell icon. That way you don't miss out on any of my future content. I'm trying to put out at least 3 videos a week now. It's something that I've been trying really hard to do. And by really hard, I just mean I need to stop being lazy. If you want to be featured on Request Wednesday, please leave a comment below letting me know of an album, single, EP, whatever you want me to review. We'll throw it up on the whiteboard and we will get you squared away. And I hope you guys all have a good rest of your day or night whenever you happen to be watching this. And I will talk to you guys next time.
I was trying